So the Indiana Pacers won against the Boston Celtics tonight, 117-112. I would say it was probably one of the best Pacers games I've seen this season. Obviously, the second half of the game was a lot weaker compared to the first half. I think in the first half, the Pacers were up like 30 or 40 points on the Celtics, which in itself is already a pretty great accomplishment. I mean, guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White in the first half, they were pretty much getting locked up because of the Pacers defense. And guys like Nembhard, Tyrese Halliburton, Nesmith, these guys are playing some pretty great defense. So we're gonna go over the game, talking about the box score for the Pacers and just my overall thoughts about the game. So we'll get into it with Tyrese Halliburton, 33 points, 8 assists, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal on around 12 of 24 from the field and 6 of 13 from the field, or from the three, sorry. So Tyrese, man, he was absolutely clutch. I think down in the fourth, the Pacers were up like 109-101, I want to say. And then Tyrese Halliburton hit a 3 right after the Celtics scored, and they're on like a 10-0 run. Think about that. So Tyrese Halliburton, he was the guy today that was just saving the Pacers on a lot of just plays overall and bad plays. And Halliburton was the guy to go when they needed a bucket in the clutch. I mean, obviously Tyrese Halliburton being the best player on the team, it would be kind of obvious to go to your star player to get a bucket, and today that's what Tyrese Halliburton did. So man, Halliburton, he was hitting a lot of clutch three-pointers. That's really the saving grace for this Pacers team. I mean, guys like Nembhard and Nesmith, they were pretty great today too. But in terms of overall offensive impact, I mean, Tyrese Halliburton was far and away the best player on offense. So next, we got Andrew Nembhard, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists with 1 steal on the block on 4-9 from the field and 0-1 from 3. So Nembhard getting the start today definitely was interesting. I would still say that Benedict Mathurin deserves a start somewhere this season, but for majority of the starts that Nembhard has drawn, he's been fairly impressive. And, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, that's pretty okay for someone that's, a second-round pick? Yeah. If you look at his overall stats from the season, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and around 4 assists, he was pick number 31 in the second round. So Nembhard drawing the start today, he definitely played pretty well today, and being a guy that can be either on ball, someone that can run off ball, someone that's just going to be there for Tyrese Halliburton to pass to. There were a lot of plays like that where Halliburton and Nembhard were on the floor, and Nembhard would be running off ball and would get an easy layup. So Nembhard played a pretty big part today on defense too, especially on guys like Jason Tatum, which obviously I wouldn't say it worked too well. I mean, Tatum dropped 41, but regardless, I think Nembhard did his part in the first half. In the second half, I mean, Jason Tatum obviously went off, but yeah, I mean, I think Nembhard played a pretty great game defensively and offensively. So next, we got Aaron Nesmith, 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists with 2 steals on 6 of 13 from the field and 1 of 5 from 3. So Nesmith, I would say this guy's definitely underrated. I think honestly, he's probably the most underrated player on the team right now. I mean, over the season, 9 points, 3 rebounds, and around 1 assist. Looking at his previous games, I mean, in his last 10 games, he's averaging around 11 points and around 4 rebounds with essentially 53% from the field and 46% from 3. Nesmith, he was obviously picked up in the Malcolm Brogdon trade that acquired, Boston acquired Malcolm Brogdon and the Indiana Pacers acquired Aaron Nesmith. So I think moving forward, today he was playing the power forward spot alongside Miles Turner. You can kind of just draw conclusions on why the Pacers were getting killed in the interior. I mean, as a team collectively, they had 47 rebounds compared to the Boston Celtics 62. Yeah, 62 rebounds for the Celtics and 42 for the Indiana Pacers, or 47, sorry. So, yeah, I mean, guys like Robert Williams, guys like Al Horford were completely ruining the interior for the Pacers. Robert Williams, I mean, we'll get into him later. I'll talk about the Pacers a little bit on the other half of the essentially recap of this video. But, I mean, yeah, Robert Williams had 12 rebounds today, and 7 of them were offensive. So, I don't know, man. Miles Turner and Nesmith, this kind of front court right here is definitely interesting. Now, Jalen Smith did come off the bench today, and he had a pretty okay game, nothing too crazy. But I don't know, man. I think I would like some more size at the power forward position. So you can have Nesmith come off the bench, or you can just slot in Nesmith at the 2 or the 3, and then have Buddy Hield at the 2, and then have guys like Nembhard come off the bench with TJ McConnell and Chris Duarte. I don't know. You can do a lot of things with this roster. I like the versatility. I just think that the big man depth is definitely something to note on this team because it's definitely not that great. So finally, or not finally, we have, yeah, Miles Turner, 10 points and 6 rebounds with 3 assists and a steal. 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Pretty quiet game from Miles. I mean, he didn't really play a particularly great game. A lot of times in the game, I thought Miles Turner could have been a lot better, especially in the rebounding department. I mean, 6 rebounds isn't really great for probably the only big man on the team that they really play. So Miles Turner, I mean, I definitely would like him to be involved more in the game plan, but at the same time, I mean, he's not really a guy that's going to be scoring a lot in back-to-back games. So hopefully we can see some more from Miles Turner. I think the front court depth is definitely something we need to note, especially going into the trade deadline. So looking at the bench, I mean, you got Jalen Smith, 8 points and 9 rebounds. We got TJ McConnell, 6 points and 1 assist with 2 steals. Chris Duarte, 14 points, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Benedict Mathurin, 7 points and 4 rebounds. And finally, Oshae Brissett with 8 points and 5 rebounds. So the bench unit was definitely okay today. I wouldn't say it wasn't that bad. Guys like Chris Duarte was definitely getting done. I think at the end of the third quarter, he hit a buzzer beater. Yeah, he hit a buzzer beater from 3. Great game from Chris Duarte. I think he definitely played a big part in terms of scoring off the bench. Chris Duarte, I mean, I definitely think he has a lot of potential. He is around 25 years old. He's in his sophomore year, so we'll see what happens with Duarte. Off the bench, he could be kind of like a guy that can score and provide them a spark, but I think the bench today definitely played well today, especially guys like TJ McConnell and Jalen Smith. Smith was getting a lot of rebounds. TJ McConnell getting some good buckets, getting into the cup, and same thing with Duarte, getting some pretty good three-pointers, shooting 4 or 5 from 3. So I don't know. The Pacers today, they were pretty great. I wouldn't say like anything too amazing. They definitely let up. Yeah, they definitely let up in the second half. I mean, I wish they didn't let up. This would have been pretty much a blowout for the Pacers if they, just stuck to defense and just played disciplined overall in the game. But, I mean, they still pulled out the W, and they beat a Boston Celtics team that lost twice against the Orlando Magic. And for the Pacers, they move up to 17 and 16 over the season. So going into the playoff picture and going into the All-Star break, I think the Pacers, they're definitely in a good position right now with what they have right now. I think that getting into the front court situation here could be definitely something they look into, especially on the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens with Miles Turner, guys like Buddy Hield too. I mean, Buddy Hield didn't really have a good game today either, only having 7 shots and shooting 3 or making 3 of them. So I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things they can do in the offseason and on the trade deadline. We'll see what happens with Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, but I definitely would like them to get some more big man depth. So hopefully we can see some more things out of the Pacers next game, and hopefully they can keep up this high level of play. So that's the video. My name is Pacers Empire, and all peace.